always that one person at your job to be like, my goodness, you change your hair so much, so often. I just don't know what to expect from you. Well, I'm keeping you on your toes. You don't gotta expect nothing from me. Okay, so I have this wig here and I'm getting ready for work. I've been wearing my hair in this little comb over ponytail because I have this side shaved and it's growing back, and this side of my head looks like ush bush. But what I want this to look like, this used to be a middle part wig. It reminds you of the lady off of Wanda off Holiday Heart. It reminds you of Wanda off Holiday Heart. But I don't have no makeup on right now. This light is washing my eyebrows off. I swear I got a little piece of eyebrow. But I want this bang to come to the front. Instead of being a middle part, I want it to come to the front. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start wand curling it. Wand curl it. And I actually am going to cut some of the length of the wig off because it's pretty long, but it's real dry. Real dry. And I need to wax. I think I'm gonna do a home wax for y'all. But if this wig come out right, I'm gonna do a time lapse. If it come out right, I'm gonna wear it today. If it don't come out, then you see me with this ponytail again until I can do something. My sister normally does my hair, but since she's been pregnant, I've been easing up off of her because I like to get my hair done a lot. And so I don't want her to be stressed out. I want my niece to like me and all that stuff. So we're not gonna do that. I got my table here and some of my equipment. Then I'm gonna do my makeup. I'm gonna get dolled up today because I haven't been, like, I've been doing my everyday makeup, which I try to keep it pretty light to give my skin a break during the week. But these cords is tangled. But I just want to get dolled up, and I'm trying to work fast. It's around 7 o'clock in the morning. I got up at like 6:30. I'm trying to work fast because my daughter will get up, and she, you know, I gotta tend to her. She drank milk like it's wine, and it's oat milk. She's obsessed with oat milk. We transitioned from breast milk to oat milk when she was about one. Excuse me. We transitioned when she was about one to get her off the tite. But she just loves the sippy cup. And we transitioned her off of her Nunu, her pacifier. So I'm trying to get all this done. That's why my videos is being delayed because but anywho, so I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna do like it was some parts that I wet trying to get it to untangle, and I'm gonna just tap it up, straighten it out with this. But I don't mind it being kind of wavy when I do the wand curls because it gives it like a kind of messy look. So let's get into why I'm doing this. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac, because that is a franchise that I watch. I watch the Atlanta one. And see, I don't watch TV during the week a whole lot because I feel like I never have time. But on the weekend, I normally find like Sunday, when I'm having a lazy Sunday, because I try not to do anything on Sunday, I'll binge. And I saw that latest episode, the whole Miami trip. I need to find, look, I feel like I got ADHD. I need to find the person who did the review that I just watched, because that review was on the one. I hadn't even watched the episode yet, which I tend to do is watch people's reviews and like see if it make me want to go watch it ASAP. But he was spot on with his depiction of what happened and the ladies' responses to things. I used to be a Mia fan. I really did. And I'm not just jumping on the Mia hate train because of the situation with the drink. Because I'm from a different upbringing. Where if you can dish it, you can take it. And that's with whatever. I'm not condoning violence, but I'm just being realistic. Like, this is the real world. And I think this is the toxic thing about this whole cancel culture. And not being able to be honest about things. Like, that's life. When you teach your kids, like, oh, you know, people, when you tell, I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say. Like, I feel like that's the toxic thing about the society that we live in, with people being afraid or walking on eggshells. It's like, that's not the world. Like, you're not preparing your children to be able to withstand people not being so nice to them, and be able to protect themselves and stand up for themselves. When you just feel like, oh, it's all bubblegum and peaches and nobody's gonna say anything, nobody's supposed to say anything that's offensive. Like, that's not realistic. I've got offended by grown women as a child and had to stand up for myself, you know. And if it wasn't for my upbringing, I probably would have felt like, oh, because they're an adult, I can't really protect myself. I can't really say what I want to say. Or, you know, people bullying you in school. Like, that's realistic. And only the strongest survive in real life. So, you have to prepare your kids for stuff like that. It's not an easy topic, but it is what it is. So, back to the Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm going to be really honest on my opinion of all the ladies. And I say this with a grain of salt because it's reality TV, and to a certain extent, I want to turn this way so I can face y'all a little bit. But to a certain extent, you have to understand that it's reality TV. But I don't know how I can make this head higher so y'all can actually see, or I'll probably bring the camera down a little bit lower. Let me see. There we go. So, I was watching The Real Housewives of Potomac last night, and a couple things that stood out to me. Alright, so, the overall scene, I feel like Ashley and Candace are never going to be friends. And I feel that way because Ashley seems as though she can never... Now, and I say this just a blind reaction because I've watched the seasons, but you know, you forget the details sometimes. And I ain't go back and study, you know, the previous situation, but I feel like it all started from that situation with Monique and her attacking Candace or whatever, and feeling like Ashley shouldn't have taken a statement, shouldn't have gave a statement on behalf of Monique. And that violence shouldn't beget, you know, words shouldn't beget violence. But like I said, that's not a perfect world. Like, people don't always, in the heat of the moment, you're not always premeditated on how you should respond. And that's why I commend Wendy. Because it takes a lot of self-control and restraint not to respond physically when somebody throws a drink on you. I don't think that I would be as poised, but I'm so proud of her that she carried herself that way and was able to respond that way. However, I think Ashley and Candace will never be friends. If they do, it would be shocking. Or if the drama is premeditated for a show, I wouldn't be surprised. And that they're actually best friends and they go to lunch together and, you know, share mommy tips. I wouldn't be surprised. However, I do feel like they can't let the whole situation go with the husbands. I think that I don't want to say that I'm being insensitive to anybody who feels like they've been sexually assaulted, but I don't think that the origin of their the origins of their concerns with Chris are pure. I tread lightly with saying that, though. I'm going to get off that topic. Because, like I said, I think that anybody who feels like they were uncomfortable should be able to come forward and speak on it and say what made them feel comfortable. But I think Giselle has never been a person that has, and these are just my opinions, these are not facts, this is for entertainment purposes only, But I feel like Giselle has never been a person that rubs me as genuine. Even to Robin. I mean, their friendship seems to work for them, but she never seems to be genuine. My favorite cast member is Karen, because I feel like you always know what you're getting with Karen. She's loyal if you're loyal to her. And she's not a type of person that is going to say that you're her friend and then turn around and do something intentionally shady. But if you shade her and you are disloyal to her, then she will give you a dose of your own medicine. So the Grand Dame remains grand in my book. Robin, I definitely think... Oh, let me go back to Ashley and Candace. Regardless of how I feel about Candace, because I feel like Candace has a mouth on her and puts herself in a lot of situations. But that girl can read. Talk about quick on your feet. She can read and come with the comebacks. And I do think, allegedly, I don't even know what to say without getting like myself in trouble, but I do think that there's a little something deeper between me and Jacqueline, as everybody was speculating. How my battery died already and they said it was 90%. I'm so sick of these batteries. All right, y'all. So I'm going to come back when my hair is already on my head, since my battery wants to freaking die. My hair is already on my head, and then I'm starting on my makeup. That will save me some time. But I'm going to go right back into the Real Housewives of Potomac once I get done with this hair. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Okay, let's talk about it. And I don't know if I'll be dropping this today, or I'm going to drop it with vlog 7. I've been trying to stay a day ahead. I had to re-drop. I'm probably going to re-upload day 5 because I was trying to rush and do it, and I was working on a project as well at the same time as I was uploading, and I forgot to remove the cap cut at the end of the video, and I think that's just like unprofessional. I didn't like the way it looked, so I'm going to go back and re-upload that new edit and change some of the directions that the videos were going in. But after I finish this hair, I'll be back, and I'm going to charge my batteries to make sure that I don't have this problem again. And we're going to come back and we're going to finish talking about Real Housewives of Potomac while I do my makeup. And I'm going to wax these later. So that's why I'm leaving them hairy. I'm going to wax them probably tomorrow. Y'all, this is how the hair came out. It's not too bad. It's not a frontal, so it's like only like 4x4. I'm headed to take this little one to daycare, and then hopefully I can debrief before I go into the office. But she has a gift shop that she has to attend today. They're letting the kids shop. I'm gonna talk to you guys once I stop again. This hair took me way longer than I expected it to be. I have not been a redhead in a very long time, since college, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the vibes. It's always that one person at your job to be like, my goodness, you change your hair so much, so often. I just don't know what to expect from you. Well, I'm keeping you on your toes. You don't gotta expect nothing from me, because that's the first thing in life. Then your mama tell you that if you expect something from somebody, you're setting yourself up for failure. I mean, not failure, disappointment. You're setting yourself up for disappointment. But anywho, my morning was hectic. I'm probably gonna keep this red for a minute, because it took me about an hour and a half to detangle it, to style it. I didn't even do the makeup look I wanted to do. I'm trying to experiment with this super highlighted look. My mama always told me shooting from below is not flattering. It get all up, make you have a double chin and everything. But anywho, so baby, please don't ever let me have a friend like me. I don't want to ever have a friend like me. I don't know all the good stuff that she has ever done for a friend, but on that daggone show, they did not show her good side, baby. They did not show the good side. So first of all, I did not like how she aired her friend out. Now, to me, the Real Housewives, they'll say, like, they'll refer to each other as friends, but they're given very much co-workers. Like, we're put in the same situation to be together, to work together. It'd be different if they've been filming for like 15 years on the show for that long. Then, you know, from being around these people so often, so much, I feel like you get to know them. You know, that's a little bit different. But I feel like the term friendship is always used loosely on reality TV. You know, and I looked at some commentators on the show. They really do a really good job of breaking down all the details and the scenes and the quotes. I'm not there, baby. I just know how I feel. I mean, I've watched the shows, all of the shows and the seasons, and you know, I've witnessed like anybody else, but I'm talking about they can prove or come back with quotes and stuff as to why they feel this way or that. So my rundown on everybody, like I said previously, this is just, you know, my opinion from what I see on the show. Ashley is a good time, a fun time. She's not somebody you could take serious as a loyal friend, or, you know, she may have besties or be loyal to people, but it's not anybody on the show. I've never really cared for Giselle or Robin. I feel like they're also, oh Lord, hold on one second. Hello? I'm gonna cut that out. But anywho, I've never been a fan of Giselle and Robin because I feel like they've always been either bone collectors or they stir the pot. And granted, you know, it's a reality show. It has to be some type of drama to keep listeners and viewers engaged. That's why I say I think they use the term friends loosely, because a lot of the stuff that they do, I would not tolerate from a person that I call a friend, or I would not do intentionally to a friend. I know that we all have our slip-ups, but you do that too many times, that's a part of your character, and that's just who you are, and it don't resonate with me. Karen, everybody who I watched do commentary on the show was saying that they just don't like how Karen straddles the fence, but I think that's a little unfair, because if you have two people that you consider friends and they get into it, you know, I feel like at the dinner she did a really good job when they were having the initial fight between Wendy. I wouldn't even call it a fight, I would call it you know, one-sided incident where Mia threw the drink on Wendy, and I said, come in, Wendy, again. She composed herself very well, because it's very hard. People always can speculate looking at a situation secondhand or comment on the after effects of something, but it's very hard in that moment to control yourself and be poised. And she did a really good job, because I went to her book signing in Baltimore and she touched on it like a little bit about the situation, but not giving too much detail. And she was like, you know, I had to think about everything I had on the line to lose. She's a political commentator, professor, you know, but I just really commend her, because sometimes that's why people lose their jobs, because they lose their cool. You know, a lot of humans go off of emotion, and it's very hard to control yourself when your emotions are involved. So I do commend her for that. I do think that Karen has stayed true to not being a person that is just starkly swayed, because even with Monique and Candace's situation, I feel like she said, you know, I don't agree with Monique. I let her know that I felt like what she did was very wrong, but that's still my friend. Like, I'm not, you know, if a person makes a bad decision, I'm not going to just drop them as my friend if it's something that can be of reproach, you know. But I feel the same way. I would do the same way. That's the mature thing to do. I think it's, unless you do something like, I mean, that's against my moral code. Like, a no-go for me is you don't sleep with one of your friends' mans. You don't mess with a married man that you're, you know, it's just like, you don't dip where your friends used to be. Or none of that. And that's what I feel. Ooh, that was a parking space there. But these little teeny tiny parking spots, like, what the heck? I'm really not gonna park here. It's ridiculous how close this parking space is. But what they did not warrant me having receiving an apology. And I felt like, you know, it'd be different if it was like a mutual acknowledgement of where each other went wrong in the situation. But I felt like Mia was just like very entitled in that situation. I'm taking this parking space, and I hope you know it. Trying to back in. Let me put this down for a second.
Baby, welcome to the party. I'm off the Myers and the lean. That's why I'm over retarded. Baby, welcome to the party. I hit the boy up and then I go skate in a Rari. Baby, welcome to the party. Bitch, I'm a duck. Give me lit. Gun on my head. 1 and a half. 10 in the clip. Baby, don't trip. Just lower your tone. Cause you could get hit.
Hi guys, I'm back to close out this vlog. It's been a long day. The curls, they stayed intact. I don't know if I'll stay a redhead for long though. My mother was like, it's kind of, it gives me like a synthetic look, but I think it's cute. I don't know. I'm feeling her. I love how you can just do a new lip and the red just pops, you know. And I love a red lip, honey, but I normally have like the black hair, so it just makes everything pop. So I feel like with this, you know, you could do a red lip if you really want to be fiery. I've seen Riri do it flawlessly, by the way. But today I just played it cute with nude. But I've been really wanting to wax my armpits. I find that when I shave, I get hair bumps. You can get bumps when you wax if you don't exfoliate or follow your esthetician, waxtician, I don't know what you call a professional waxer. But if you don't follow their advice, I'm sure, you know, there's an aftercare method. Me personally, I've never been professionally waxed. One day I might feel comfortable enough with letting a stranger see my hoo-ha. But I've always done it myself. Like, I've Brazilian waxed myself maybe a total of 5 times at home. And I definitely feel like you have to work up yourself to actually rip the wax off. It's like a process. I do want to try sugar wax because I have the soft to hard wax, and I'm not sure whether the sugar wax is a easier has a smoother transition. But I'm sipping on some chai tea right now. I added oregano oil to it. It is so disgusting. But if I'm trying to prevent myself from getting sick and give my immune system an extra boost, I will add oregano oil to my smoothie, my shake. Shake and smoothie kind of similar. My tea, or I'll just add it to my fiber drink that I take in the morning just to quickly get it down. Because sometimes when you know have hot tea, you gotta sip it, and oregano is potent. It's very, very, very strong. So if it says only do 4 drops, only do 4 drops. Because I remember when I first started taking oregano oil, I did a whole dropper, and when I tell you my mouth was on fire, because it is not the oregano oil you cook with. It is the non-diluted, strong oregano oil. What do they call it? Non-concentrated or concentrated? Concentrated. It's concentrated. So I also added, I don't know if I said I have a chai tea as the base, and I added the I think it was 4 drops of oregano oil. I add vitamin D3, 4 drops of vitamin D3, and I also added some chlorophyll and matcha just for like an extra pizzazz. And it actually is not a bad blend. I mean, you have to do what works best for you. I also started a parasite detox. So I've really been trying to just stay away from dairy and excessive sugar. It's been like, you know, challenge because I still like to have my creamer in my coffee, and I like to have honey when I do have a cup of tea, because I try to rotate from having coffee so often because I do have eczema, and I've just been seeing a breakout in my skin. I break out in like the creases of my arms. If you can see it, it's some discoloration there. And I break out on my hands, but I try to like keep Eucerin in my purse and on my bedside just so I can like reapply the lotion. And I wanted to do a parasite cleanse because a lot of people say that, you know, if you find like you're using your topical creams and you're not finding that your eczema seems to be relieved, then you might want to try for a deeper cleanse internally, because it may be something beyond your control that's creating the rash on your skin. So I did look at parasite rashes. It doesn't look similar to what I have, but I also know I probably need to schedule an allergy test because I'm not sure. I've never really had one. So I may be allergic to something that I'm just overly indulging in, and it's just not flowing with me. Anywho, let's not make this video a long one because I did do a Real Housewife. I talked about the Real Housewives, and I know that was a long conversation. So I cleaned my pits with soap and water. If you see that, it's like, that's what it's giving, okay? I just like to clean my pits off again. Don't play with a girl. I seen somebody put cornstarch or some type of powder on their armpit. I'm not sure why they did that. Okay, car outside my window. I'm not sure why they did that. I'm sure it's a method to the madness because it was a professional waxer. Excuse me. I just want to clean up as I go, so then when I'm done, I can just go to bed. I'm not a professional waxer. I'm not advising you to do this at home. If you get burned, do not blame me. But if you have a successful experience, please let me know down below in the comment section. So I'm just going to dry my armpits. I want to cool this wax some so it doesn't burn. I'm going to take one of these paper towels and dry my armpits. I actually want to pull my strap down because I don't want anything to get on my clothes. But I'm thinking maybe I could just tuck a paper towel. You know what? To be on the safe side, I'm just going to tuck this in and put this on the left side. I'm gonna try some cornstarch, see if I feel the difference. Maybe it adds an extra barrier for chafing on your armpits. I'm not sure. People actually eat this stuff in the spoonfuls. I'm not sure what they get out of that, but doesn't look appetizing to me. I use cornstarch for my daughter, like, as it's so good for diaper rash, but Get you some popsicle sticks. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money on these. You can get them at Michael's Craft Store. I like to use the little teeny ones if I want to wax like my upper lip or a smaller area, so you don't run the risk of taking off hair in areas that you don't want to be taken off. It's funny because it all started like, I think it's like maybe 2 or 3 of my friends that wax themselves. And it all started in our group chat because I actually think I need some more wax beads. It all started in our group chat because one of my friends was complaining about how much she spends on her waxes. And I was like, why don't you just buy a wax kit at home and do it yourself? And everybody was like, what? You can take the pain? And I'm like, look, get a mirror, get a towel, prop them legs up, and bless yourself with a nice fresh landing. Take a deep breath. And once the wax is on, you know you got to get it off. It's so funny because I actually watched this guy on Instagram. His girlfriend put like a Q-tip up his nose with wax. And he was flipping out at the fact that he had to yank that out of his nose and it was going to be so painful. And I was just thinking, women do this all the time, sometimes multiple times throughout the month, just for maintenance. And he's like flipping out at a small nostril area. I'm not sexist. I don't even know if I could be a woman chauvinist. What do you call it? Feminist? I'm for the betterment. I don't know. I'm for the rights of women and everybody, especially children. Balenciaga. But, oh Lord, I haven't done this in so long, so I'm a little scared. And I don't have a mirror. I'm really crazy for this. I'm not having a mirror. I'm going to layer it because I don't want it to be multiple rips. I look so crazy right now. I'm trying to see if I got everything. I think that's everything. I need to get me a mirror. And you just make sure that the hair, the light's still on. Okay, good. You make sure that the hair, you do a little rub, nice rub. Make sure the hair is in the wax, gathered with the wax. And you take a deep breath. Ouch. Okay. And then you want to hold, press, 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 press. Damn. Ouch. I feel like I'm not. The wax wasn't hard enough or something. Tyree made this look so effortlessly. Ouch. Oh yeah, that's a good rip right there. It's a lot of hair. But it ain't get everything. So you always gotta go back. Just moving my face out the way. Why would anybody inflict themselves in this amount of pain? And make sure, oh, that was a good rip. Neat. Now for sanitary purposes, I don't use the same side. Even if it is myself, I don't use the same side. of the popsicle stick. I use a whole nother side. I need to get a mirror and I'm gonna come back because I can't really see. Alright, I put some more on my skin. Ooh, it's a little tender. Cardi B got some hips on her, baby. Got them hips on her. Alright, this is a little bit too hot. Oh, this don't. Try to cut it off. Cut it off, cut it off, cut it off. Alright, be going in with the other side of the stick. Gonna pull my skin taut like that. Okay. Trying to avoid doing this more than once. And if I don't get a good clean rip this time, I'm starting to think it will be the cornstarch that's messing me up. Ouch. Now I have some what's this stuff? It's Bump Eraser. I forget the name of the cosmetic company that it's from. But I just go in and scrub my pits with that. Try to make sure no. Alright, that's the whole damn pit right there. See? Baby, if this one, this time, don't get up in them hairs, I'm done. Them hairs. If this one, this time, doesn't get up in them hairs, I'm done with this pit. It's caused me trouble. It's trouble child. Ooh. Oh, okay, that was a good rip. Good rip. But it's, I don't think it got, oh shoot. Oh, she looks pretty. Alright, let me get this top piece off. Gotta put some oil on your skin. Okay, and I got like a little bit of residue around there. I'm gonna put some oil on and get that off. All right. Looking good. I'm about to go tweeze some off.